So, are we going to get to milking this year? Here we are going to talk about it. Well, as many of you know, we have high hopes and big intentions with our Icelandic sheep. Will they milk? Are they going to be worth it to milk? And I will admit, we are, as always, behind schedule, not ready, and still trying, and it is becoming a struggle. So I'm going to talk you through this a little bit today as we actually do milk some of the sheep, because little Tink here needs dinner. So the nice thing really is that the situation with Tink is forcing me to have to analyze what we need to do, what our setup needs to be, and really kind of figure out if we can actually make this Icelandic sheep milking dream reality. I'm going to go through a few of the hiccups we've hit along the way, as you can hear all the sheep carrying on behind me. One thing that has really come to our attention is the fact that they're hard to catch. We do not have a setup in the barn yet that really runs them through nicely, runs them through a chute. We don't even have a stand. Maybe this weekend if we can make this happen. But one thing that we're finding is it's even hard to get them into the barn with their lambs, and never mind separating their lambs, which is what needs to happen if we are going to milk. There's Patches carrying on. She wouldn't come in at all last night, so she's locked into a small holding pen where she got nothing. No grain, no nothing. That's how it works. If you don't come in the barn, you don't get fed. So basically what we've done is, you can see there's a little bit of an electric netting up. It's very, very faint because it's orange colored, but we've put that netting up in order to kind of make this pen a little bit smaller, so that really when they come in off of the grass, they're in a smaller space and have to come into the barn. At least that was the hope. But as you can see by Patches and her baby still being out, it didn't work across the board. And it seems to really vary every day. Somebody's trouble. So one of the first things you can see as you enter the barn here, the area that we were hoping to open all up is not opened up, and there's still a lot of garbage in the way, and walls, and everything else, as you can imagine. So the battle still is running the sheep down into old horse box stalls. There are the critters there now in question. So as you can see here, we've got a group of girls, and what I am doing right now is I'm milking anyone who only had a single. Basically, I don't have the ability at the moment to separate babies until we get this all set up. And I could do it manually by going in and taking each baby and putting them into a different stall. But one thing we're finding is if the moms can't see the babies, it's bad. So first up, we are trying to do Beauty. Beauty is not one that I've done before. I have done this in past days, and Enya and a few of the others have been really good. Now, Beauty is arguing with me a little bit here, so we're going to try and film what we can. But as you can see, she's just tied behind with the lead rope, same way I would for shearing. She's able to dance around a little bit, which makes things awkward, doesn't it, Beauty? And really, she's just trying to find her baby. So as you can see, she is not happy with my doing this. But we're getting there. There you go, girl. Good girl. The nice thing about all the singles is that their moms have one side that the babies drink and one side they don't. So if I can keep the one side that they don't going for Tink, then maybe I can convert that to being for us. And you know what? Once she's figured out what I'm doing, she's actually... I say that. She's not being terrible. Girls are next door. Okay, Beauty. Beauty. And again. So, I don't have very much in here yet. Hi, sweetie. But we're trying to do this without a setup. Just loose. And they don't know what's going on either. Hi, girls. Everybody's coming over to see what's in the jar. So Beauty only delivered us about 1/3 of a cup, not even. But next up is Enya. Now, Enya, I did milk 2 days ago, and she gave me a whole cup. I probably could have gone more, but I didn't have any containers, so we'll see how she does today. She was also amazingly well behaved, which I was quite surprised by. So we'll see what we can get. So I have to admit, this is that point where I hit a wall. And I will admit, it is a disappointing wall because I really, I'm going to get all emotional. I really had faith in my sheep. But as friendly as my sheep are, without a setup, it doesn't work. We're struggling. One thing I'm going to say here. 2 days ago, I got a whole cup out of Enya. Today, 1/3 of a cup. And that was a real challenge. I mean, like a real challenge. So as their babies get bigger, they're going to consume more and the other side's going to produce less. And it's just going to have a knock on. So unless we can set this up to make it work, which then you have to decide, is that worth the investment of time and infrastructure at this point for something that could happen? You don't know if it will happen. You don't know what the results are. And at this point, it is really picking our battles. I need to milk enough to get Tink fed because Tink is doing amazing, as you saw in our most recent video here after the homesteading conference. So there is no choice on that. I have to milk in order to get food for Tink. But beyond that, are we going to milk for human consumption? This year, I'm thinking no. The time it would take to get set up and get, I shouldn't just say time, I should also say financial commitment that it will take to get everything all set up, as well as time, which also detracts from time in the garden and time with other things at this point in the year. Will it be detrimental to the bottom line just to try and find out if the sheep are going to milk? I don't know. It's a watch this space. I refuse to give up. I keep going. I keep trying to figure something out. But is this going to be the year? I don't know. Every year, my sheep get friendlier and friendlier, and we make smart choices when it comes to culling and butchering and so on. And maybe I will have a flock in the not so distant future that is ideal for milking. But at this point, a lot of our foundation herd is not ideal for milking. They don't have the mental characteristics, I guess, or the attributes that lend themselves to being a nice, quiet sheep that's going to hop up on the stand for you and stand there and let you milk them and so on. I do have 1 or 2 that are coming that maybe with some time spent, but then you've got to find that time. And that's where you really hit a crossroads of, do I have the time and is it worth the time? So I guess that's where we're at this point in time is right now, I need 1 of these a day to feed Tink. So I keep milking in order to get 1 of those. And if that doesn't work, then I'm not sure. We'll come up with plan B. But at this point, human consumption of sheep milk is probably not going to be happening.